Well, good morning. It's a brisk one today. I don't know if y'all can see, but a little bit of frost on everything. It's about 31, 32 degrees here right now. Ran through some mud on Friday down at Post Road. Look at this. I gotta wash that thing down. It's the only downside to having quarter fenders instead of half fenders, because stuff like that happens a lot more prevalent. But just got done doing a pre-trip, so we're gonna see how she likes starting up in this 31 degree weather. Just a little puff of smoke. We're gonna idle her up. Turn that heat on. Get all our lights going so we can make sure those are good to go. And yeah, let me close this hood and I'll talk to y'all in a minute. Well, she's been warming up here for, about 25 minutes. So we're gonna go hook up to that trailer and head down the peninsula. All right, well, trailer's airing up. Pulled our landing gear up. We're gonna see how all this rides. This should ride pretty good, I think. I might give that one another click. But lights are working. So yeah, I think we're pretty good to roll. A little frosty this morning. A little bit frosty. Winter is here, unfortunately. I need to hit the windshield with some window cleaner, but beautiful morning for a drive, 37 degrees. Well, I'll show you once we get up in the pass how far the snow's coming down the mountains. It's not really too bad right here, but if you look further ahead, you can see it's coming down. Slowly but surely. But yeah, just cruising south this morning. Beautiful Monday. Beautiful Monday. Well, as promised, here's the snow line. I know, I think that last video we did the pen run video before last, or was it the last one? I forget. I've had so much going on. I'll update you guys on a little bit, but yeah, there was like no snow, and now it's come down the mountain quite a bit. So interesting, but yeah, that's the snow report. This guy wants to play whatever he's playing, but yeah, I got some snow up there. I am guessing within 2 weeks there'll be snow on the road here in the pass. That's my prediction, maybe even less, but kind of depends on what the weather does. But it's 38 degrees right now, and yeah, a little bit of snow. Well, check out that view. Got the volcano over there, and look at this. We're about to roll 1.1 million miles. There it is. 1,100,000 miles. Yeah, I've put, well, that'll be 49,000 miles in this thing, roughly. So maybe once I hit 50 here in the next day or so, I'll do a 50,000 mile review of the old 389 glider. But for now, let's get on into Soldotna. All right, well, we are here in Soldotna. Gonna pull the trailer apart to get them their stuff as usual, because it's stacked not very well, but it's all right. Go help this guy spot him a little bit. All right, well, we got unloaded. Truthfully, I didn't even see what time I pulled in here. I think it was about 10 till noon, and it's well, 12:19 now. So they got right on me. So today it wasn't really a matter of them taking a while. It's just we had to unload about a third of the trailer to get to their stuff, you know. But like I said, it's always been like that and has not changed since I've been doing this run. So this one I'm gonna have to stuff through there. But yeah, anyway, so it's still going to turn into a 40-minute ordeal by the time I get this restrapped, just because the way it was loaded. So anyway, I'm gonna get this restrapped and I'll see y'all in a minute. All right, well, hang on. Oh yeah, it's recording. Minutes in there, I'm pretty sure. And like I said, it wasn't really their fault. As soon as I had straps off, they pretty much got right to me. We just had to unload a bunch of stuff, and then we did reload one skid that they have going back to Anchorage. So we loaded that for them. Yeah. Anyway, 40 minutes. I really like. 30 minutes max. Like that gives me like 10 minutes to bust all the straps. 10 minutes, put them all back on, because, you know, I have to pull every strap like we were talking about. And then if they can unload in 10 minutes and put it back together, then that's half an hour at each stop. Which, at that point, it's not too bad. You know, you got half hour, 1 hour, hour and a half, 2 hours total. So then because basically it's about 8 hours of driving. So if you have 2 hours of unloading and loading time, or unloading time, then it turns your 8-hour trip into a 10-hour trip, and it's not too bad, you know. You leave at 8, 9 in the morning, and you get home at 7. But when you spend an hour at each place, then, you know, it just turns into like a 12 or 13-hour day, 14-hour day. Then it ain't so cool. I mean, because that, you know, it directly affects. So somebody was asking me about, like, how I got paid. So I get paid, I mean, it's like by the mile, but it's basically like a flat rate. It's like, you go to Homer, you get this much. You go to Soldotna or you know, Kenai, you get this much. It's kind of by the mile, but it kind of just ends up being like a flat rate. So like for Homer, you know, let's just say I get whatever. We'll just say $500. It varies depending on how many stops and what you have. We'll just say $500 to go to Homer. Well, if you can do that in 10 hours, pretty good money. But if it turns into a 14-hour day, you know, not as good. And the thing is like, you know, when they load it, you know, it's like I get it when he's in a rush, but when the trailer sits there for 2.5 days, it's like you can take your time and be picky on how you load it, you know. Oh well, like I said, ain't changing because this is how it's been for 2 years I've been doing it, so we're just gonna keep rolling with it and try to trying to make the most of it. But yeah, so they were somebody else asked me, hey, do you get paid extra for like cab freight? Like when I had all those flowers in here. No, I don't get paid extra for cab freight. Like when we go to Valdez, we get a certain rate. You know, it's quite a bit more than a normal, you know, just like drop and hook type rate because you're doing all the delivering. So you get paid like so many hours basically of work. And then we get paid for backhaul. So if I have like backhaul, if it's like something small, I don't even like write it down. But if you have to spend some significant time, you know, company's getting paid for backhaul, so they pay us. So that's nice. So you get a little something there. And then, but yeah, if you have cab freight, I prefer just like if I have smaller stuff, I just chuck in the cab. That way I know where it's at and I know it's good to go. So I do that out of my own. A lot of times out of my own, you know, choice to keep it out of the trailer because it's just small. But yeah, so if I'm in town, if I'm working local, I get paid by the hour. As soon as I, you know, kind of break out of that like 50-mile range around our shop, then it kind of just pretty much goes by the trip. So you get paid per the trip. And then if you have backhaul, you get a little extra. You know, pretty much. You know, some stuff pays a little more, a little less, kind of, but it's kind of about the same. You get about the same regardless of what we're hauling. But you make more LTL, obviously, because you have a lot more working with it. So. But, yeah, no, this is a pretty good run, honestly. Like I said, I gripe about the way they load trailers, but it's not hard work. It's a little stressful sometimes trying to make all your stops and get down there and unload. So they're not upset with you because you're unloading right at closing, and, you know, especially if you have to pick up stuff coming back. But yeah, so I haven't really been uploading because I was super sick. Y'all probably heard in that last video, you know, I was coughing a bunch. I was getting over pneumonia. Yeah, I actually called out of work for the first time ever. Like I've never had to call in sick. I called in sick once, like years ago. I think I might have said this on video already to take the wife to work, or take her to a doctor's appointment. But I've never called in sick because I felt bad. But I had to do it, and yeah, so that I didn't really video at all the week I was sick because I just felt too crappy. I just wanted to get my job done and go home. And then, so long story short, we're expecting our 4th child, so a little boy, and yeah, so my wife's pregnant, and she ended up having some early contractions and some pain and stuff, and she's only 27 weeks, 26 when she went to the hospital. So she went to the hospital for about a week, and yeah, I was working in town and then taking the kids to grandma's and picking them up and going to see her before we went home, and yeah, so I didn't film really at all that week either. So she's home now. She's on strict bed rest. So she's allowed to pretty much get up, go to the bathroom, and take a shower, and that's about as much as they want her moving around. Because they want to keep this little guy in until at least 34 weeks. So thankfully he's doing great. He's measuring ahead of schedule, so that's good. But yeah, so yeah, that's why I've been kind of MIA on YouTube, because I just haven't felt good and felt like videoing, and then I was just super slammed trying to deal with work and with the wife stuff and all that. So we are here at BCI. So yeah, I'm gonna get their stuff. They don't have much. They have like 2 bundles and a little bundle of Skyline. So I'm gonna loosen these straps up. I guess I've been talking for 7 minutes, but might as well just keep talking. So yeah, so the wife's home. Her cousin flew up to help her out, so her cousin's staying at the house helping her with the kids. That fell off. And so that's a huge help, because otherwise, yeah, because Kate can't like lift the kids, and she doesn't need to be getting up and down and chasing them around. So it's a huge help that her cousin's here, because otherwise, you know, her mom or my mom or her dad or somebody would have to come help with the kids, or I would just have to not work, and that Well, I would love to say that I am wealthy enough that I don't have to work, but unfortunately that's not the case. So I was like, well, I mean, if I had to, you know, if I had to make it until the baby was born, you know, a couple months, we could probably get by, but it would not be wouldn't be ideal. So yeah, so as long as I can keep working, her cousin's here, it's a huge help to me. And yeah, Becca, if you're watching this, thanks for your help. And yeah, okay, so I'm gonna get these bundles. These two are theirs. There's one more over there I gotta get out, and then they're getting that little skid of trim up there. So let's get after it. Well. Warmed up my lunch. We've got hopefully a forklift driver coming, and they'll start unloading us because Kenai's getting a lot. They're getting like over half of what's on the trailer right now, I think. But yeah, let's dig in this lunch while we wait. Dang. I think that's just about it. All right. That's what we got going to Homer. We dropped that. We dropped all that. We dropped all that. So we got her all strapped down. Check them all. Make sure they're all tight, you know. And yeah, that's that. So let's bust out of here and head to Homer. Well, we stopped here in a Nilchik, getting a little fuel. Keep an eye on the straps, make sure they're staying tight. Seems like it is. It's all riding pretty good. Yeah, everything's riding pretty good. I'm gonna clean my windshield, and then we'll keep on going. We got about 30 minutes left, 35 or so, so it should be there just about a 3:15. Yeah, we'll get a little motion lotion and go from there. So guys, whenever you're walking around your truck, make sure you're looking for stuff like that. You can see that. So it's not wearing through to where I can see cords or anything. But it is wearing through a little bit. So there's already a large zip tie here working as a hanger. Let me see if I can pop this up some. There we go. So now I'm just gonna put this over the fitting and the metal because I don't even want the zip tie to be right on the hose itself. And then I'm gonna come back. Oh, knocked you over. We're gonna come back and cut these off. Cut off this old one that somebody else did. Come on. And boom. Now our hoses are not rubbing anymore. So make sure you you know, like that right there. See how that zip tie was on that hose? I'm gonna move that down to that fitting so it's not on the hose anymore. And I'll make sure and write it up because what we need to do is put sleeves underneath. Anywhere there's something like that, like a hanger, needs to have a sleeve under it or around it. But anyway, at least I got that off the frame, so that's good. Now let me explain something to y'all. If you're a company driver, or if you own your own truck, or just period, just to get you thinking about how to save money. So I knew I needed fuel. I was about a quarter tank, a little less. So I could have stopped in Anchorage and filled up for, I believe, 370, 379, 374, something like that. it is. But I chose to wait because I knew it was cheaper down here. So it's $3.31 here in Ninilchik. So if it's $3.74, which I think it's $3.79 most places in Anchorage, but let's just say it's $3.74. That would mean that let's say the price difference is what? 41, 51, 61, 43 cents. Let's just say 43 cents. I just bought 150 gallons of fuel. I put 75 in both tanks. About $500 for the fuel. So 43 cents. Ouch, that was a little rough. That 43 cents equates to, let's see, well, $43 for the 100 gallons, and then you've got another 50 at 43 cents. So that's what, $21.50. So a total of like $64, $65 is what I'd save fueling up here at 43 cents a gallon cheaper as opposed to in Anchorage. If my math is right. I could be wrong. I'll tell you if I'm wrong. I think my math is right. $60. So if you think about it, now I don't care if you drive for a mega carrier, if you drive for somebody that has 2 trucks, 10 trucks, whatever. Let's just say on average, if you always go to the cheapest place and you route plan and you think ahead and you try to fill up where the fuel is cheaper. One, to me, I just like being thrifty. You know, I like, not thrifty necessarily, but I like a good deal. I want to get the cheapest. Why would I pay more for the same product? It's diesel, you know. So, one, I just feel better about myself and I know I got it as cheap as I can get it. Two, if your boss doesn't notice, you should let him know. You should be like, hey, you know, I don't know if you noticed or not, but like over the last year, I've always fueled up wherever it's cheaper, and you know, I've saved you, like, depending on how often you fill up, you know, when I'm running hard, I'm filling up usually 3 times a week, give or take. So let's just say I average 50 bucks a fill up. That's $150 a week. If I always go to the cheapest, if I always go, because there's always going to be a swing, you know, depending on where you're running. Up here in Alaska, if it's $5 in Anchorage, it's going to be $4.20 here. You know what I mean? It's always going to be cheaper somewhere in the state. So if I'm running around there and I can, and I can plan properly, I like to get it where it's cheaper. So let's just say $150 a week on average. If I'm filling up 3 times a week, and then you multiply that times 50 weeks out of the year, I mean, you just saved. Let's see, what is that? $2,500, $7,500 roughly. Yeah, $150 a week times 50. Yeah, $7,500, something like that. So think about it. If you save, you're like, oh man, my boss doesn't ever want to do nothing. He doesn't ever want to spend money on this and on that. They don't want to, you know. Well, maybe it's because little things like fuel, you're costing him an extra $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a year because you don't even care how much money you're saving or you're spending on fuel. Now I know some mega carriers, they only want you to fuel at certain spots because there's certain deals, but think about it, like, you're like, oh, you know, they can afford it, they're a big company. Well, if you have 10,000 trucks and they all are, you know, saving $100 a week in fuel because they, you know, trip planned properly. I mean, now what's to say you're not going to see a raise, you know, or could see a raise, because everybody was collectively trying to increase the revenue to the company. Now, yeah, some companies don't care. Some companies will be like, yeah, great, I'm glad you saved me money, I'm not going to return the favor. But a decent company is going to return the favor to the driver in the form of upgrades to the truck, or perks, or just outright better wages, you know. So just something to think about. Because I know, like, you know, some of our guys, they don't like fueling up at the one spot in Sutton because they only have one hose. It's a high one thing I do like about Homer is they help you roll your straps, and they get after it. They do not waste any time. So I just remembered I need to get boxes out of here. Ouch, hit my shin on my airlines because they've got boxes of screws mostly. And this is a heater box or an air purifier, but I don't think that's what it is. I think that's just the box. But all right, let me get all these boxes pulled out and set over here, and we'll get the rest of this stuff unloaded. All right, so we got finished up over there at SBS, and now we have to drop off this. Well, it's called a life-saving appliance. It's also known as a life raft. And these guys, they recertify them. Pretty interesting process. They've actually got some crazy life rafts in there. Like they'll have big, like 60, 70 person life rafts that like pop open, and obviously they have like the life rafts they're like covered. It's, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. If you've ever seen a commercial size life raft, then you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna get this thing untangled and offloaded, and we'll keep you guys posted after that. Super awesome kid, got me unloaded, and now over there, we're just gonna throw the strap that was on here, because I only put one on here earlier. So see if y'all can see that from there. Probably not. Probably can't see anything. Probably just look at the trailer. Neither here nor there. So I think that's it. I gotta call the boss and ask about a tool I was supposed to pick up from a company down here. Actually, it was H-Watt. I think I filmed that day. Oh, sorry, I was rough on your ears. We brought down a lift and a scissor lift and some little sonotubes and whatnot. So yeah, I think I filmed that. But anyway, they had. That's still not working right. That toolbox door is all jammed up. Yeah, they had a tool. Check that. Going back to Anchorage, so I was supposed to pick it up potentially, but I never did. I never did get confirmation on whether I was supposed to or not. So yeah, I'm gonna call him and see if he wants me to swing by there. Other than that, we're gonna put on our driving shoes and boogie for Anchorage. It's like 4 o'clock, so should be getting in around 8. A little later than I wanted, but it's all right. That'll be about. It's actually less than 12. It's like an 11-hour day. Not bad. So I don't think I left the shop until about 9. I mean, that includes warming up the truck, hooking up, doing all that stuff. So it'll still be a 12-hour day, but only 11 hours once I left the shop. So anyway, check back with y'all in a little bit. Well, pulled over to check out the views, use the facilities that don't exist, and just do a quick load check, you know. Gotta make sure she ain't moving nowhere. It's actually not too cold. It's Honestly, I haven't even looked at what the truck says, but it don't feel like it's much colder than maybe 40s. But that's a nice shot. I might get that for, no, I ain't got no load on. I was gonna say I might get that for a thumbnail, but we're basically empty. But yeah, right here at the beginning of the pass, just turned off the Y, where you can either go to Seward or you can go to Anchorage or you can go to Homer. It's like a little pull-out. So we just turned off there. Put this pull out. We're gonna draw along towards Anchorage. Try to make some good time. It's 6:30 right now. I think we should make it in Anchorage in under 4 hours, which is pretty good. But this is the perfect time of year to do it because there's no tourists to speak of, and it's not so far into winter that you have to drive, extra cautious because of winter conditions. So knocked all over. So yeah, pretty much like October and April, you can make like the best time going anywhere because the roads are good and there's no traffic. I mean, in the wintertime you can make good time too. Like usually you can drive close to the speed limit, but you're still, a little cautious in the corners, the hills, and just watching out and stuff. But yeah, let's try to make it to Anchorage here by 8 o'clock. We gotta drop this trailer, or we gotta unload this stuff at the shop that we have on here, and then we have to drop this trailer at BCI and grab a loaded trailer, take it to the house because it's going out to Big Lake tomorrow morning. So we'll do that. But yeah, anyway, let's just keep on keeping on. Keep pushing to Anchorage. All right, y'all. Well, as you can see, it's a little dark. It is 7:55. We actually got here probably 10 minutes ago, maybe. We actually made some good time. Some good time getting down here, or up here. But yeah, I just got that unstrapped. So now, looks like Bert's put together a pretty good load. I wonder where that's going. Have to ask him. So now, I am going to get this thing started up. And we're gonna go grab that fish tote and that skid of metal off. Because, like I mentioned earlier, we're gonna go drop this trailer over at BCI. So, we'll grab the metal first. Let's see. Oh, that's too much tilt. Oh, that the mast really covers up the lights there. Set that down. Go into one. I'm definitely crooked on it, but or not crooked, but a little to one side, But that's all right. We got a handle on her. So now let's just go set this up. Probably set it right here along the fence. I think that's a semi-safe spot. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll find out if it's not. But it's just gonna get dropped off tomorrow because it was the wrong color. So, also I think my finger was just in that camera for like the whole time, so I apologize. grab this thing. What's up, Murph? Alright, so now let's go pop this door open. Yeah, so this truck, oh. Well, I'll tell you the story on it real quick. Check this out. So, this is out of that other truck. This motor came out of that. We have a green parts truck over there. So this thing, I'll have to include a picture, but it, wonder what he did with the valves and stuff. This thing ended up losing a cylinder real bad. Like beat the piston to the point where the piston was like half the size of what it normally should be. There was no liner left. Like the entire skirt and everything was just gone. Yeah, it was not good. Not good at all. And so yeah, but thankfully, I guess, so they was talking to him, that motor came out of one of our parts trucks. And I guess it's good enough that they can use it. I think they're gonna swap a bunch of internals. I'm not sure if this is a 2WS or if it's a 6NZ. Obviously, the front housing cover's messed up, and there's a lot of stuff wrong with it. But yeah, that one completely cooked. The motor is not good whatsoever. You can kind of see how milky all that oil was. Yeah, I was trying to find, there was some valves that came out of it that were all bent up, and I'm not sure where Rob put them, but yeah, it was pretty rowdy. So this thing's getting a new motor, and yeah, hopefully it doesn't freeze tonight, because that thing is not winterized. But we are gonna grab paperwork, and then Murph's getting ready to go out on a run. So we're gonna grab paperwork, take it inside, then we're gonna drop this trailer over at what do you call it? BCI. So I'm gonna get my trash out of here, my paperwork, and I'll talk to you guys. All right. We are here at BCI. And let's see, I won't show you their gate code. Not that any of y'all are actually gonna probably come over here, but don't want to share their, secrets. If I can even remember the gate code. All right, so now let's undo this lock. Bingo bango. Put that back in there. Also, if any of you guys ever have the opportunity, and let's say, you're given privileges and gate codes and things like that. Sorry, I'm trying to clean off the lens. Make sure you leave stuff how you found it, Like, make sure the key goes back in the lockbox. Make sure the lockbox is fully locked. If you're inside somebody's yard, just put things back how they are, because it's a privilege to be able to come in some of these places and, drop stuff off after hours and pick up after hours, because one, I can make more money when they let me do that, and two, they're kind of saying, hey, we trust you enough to come into our yard and do your thing, even though we're not around. So yeah, just keep that in mind. You know, if you're in somebody else's yard, you know, and they've given you a gate code or key, just yeah, remember to take that as a privilege and make sure they don't regret giving you that privilege, or make sure they don't want to take it back, because they might give it to somebody else, and I want them to be calling me for after hours work. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's back this trailer up. We're gonna go set it up top, and then our trailer, let's see, our trailer is right there, the one with all those white packs on it, so it should be pretty easy to strap down. Looks like probably 8 straps, nothing to it. So we'll get that done as soon as we get this trailer staged. And yeah, maybe I'll do a little time lapse over there while I'm strapping. Try to see how fast we can get that done. Have to remember to put a little time on our clock. Since we're back to local work now. I mean, you know, we were local before as far as like hours of service, but we're really local now because driving around. So now that's where I'm talking pay scale, you know, we'll switch to hourly, which works out. Yeah, it works out. Plus, I live, I'm just gonna take the truck home tonight, so it helps me out because I don't have to pay for fuel home tonight. So I'm gonna do it. In wintertime, it's a little more difficult because I have to park the truck at Fred Meyer down the street. It's only like 5 minutes from the house, ain't no big deal. But yeah, I park at Fred Meyer like 5 minutes down the road. And then I just leave one of my vehicles there and drive that back and forth to my house at Fred's. Kind of depends on what my schedule looks like, you know. If I'm really busy going out and a lot, then I'll just do that. Otherwise, I'll just drive into town, you know. But sometimes it saves a lot of time being able to just park at the house because I don't have to come all the night bank, you know. So yeah, we're gonna grab that trailer here, old 105, and get her strapped down. All right, y'all. Well, that's that. I didn't time lapse it because, well, it's kind of dark. Honestly, I didn't realize that those lights lit everything up as good as they did. Oops, my glove. But yeah. So sorry about the no time lapse. Of course, maybe you're glad there was no time lapse. Maybe you were gonna click off the video because of the time lapse. But we're all good to go. Lights are good to go. Strap's good. We've got about 40,000 pounds on. And yeah, some drywall up top and lumber down beneath and on the back. But boy, I tell you what, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. All right, well, let's point this bird towards the house. expedited gate closing right here, boy. Oh yeah. Also, don't forget, because I've done it in the past. Look at that, all that time I saved by jogging over here, I just lost because I got hung up on that little nut. But don't forget, if you have your work lights on like I do right now, because you're strapping or whatever, backing or what have you, don't forget to turn them off. When I have a trailer, it's easy to see that they're on, but when it's like dusk and it's kind of light outside, then I accidentally turn them on or whatever, and then I've had guys be like, "Hey, what you looking at back there?" I'm like, "Oh, my bad." So, turn them off. Off that curb a little bit, but not too bad. Alright, well, now let's head to the house. Lights distracted me. Lights. Not real good, pretty faint, but they're there. Well, there she is. Parked up for the night. It is 39 degrees. Hopefully I'll be able to get you guys a little shot of the northern lights from up at the house. I don't know if y'all can see that over there. Yeah, that's all northern lights. The video is definitely making it a little bit different. Like you can tell when I change, it kind of changes the glow, but they're there for sure. For sure. So yeah, I'll try to get you guys a little shot from up on the porch, because that's where the good views are at. Yeah, pretty good day, pretty chill. We made it safely home. That's all that matters. And yeah, well, let's get up here and see if we can see these northern lights, and then we'll close this video out, y'all. Well, you can kind of see it's picking up a little bit of the glow, but they're definitely not as prevalent as they were. But it's crazy how the camera picks them up, even when like I can see them, but they're not that distinct. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, like because Dexter said like. Anyway, we'll see y'all in the next one.